So guys, if you have altcoins, right now is a super important time to start locking in. The price action around the markets has been trading sideways, but we're starting to see a little bit of recovery. And right now, price action on Bitcoin and Ethereum are hitting in specific zones. And if we close out the week prominently, this could be looking super good for altcoin investors. And today I want to walk you guys through the current state of the markets, what crypto analysts and traders are saying, what the perspectives are, and what you need to be aware of right now moving into the remaining of 2025 and when altcoin season could be starting. But if you're new to my channel, go ahead and check out the rest of my content. I keep you guys updated on the day-to-day events, price action around Bitcoin, Ethereum, altcoins, how liquidity is shifting, and exactly what you need to be aware of so that you can make those crazy gains. Guys, in the last week, we have been seeing a lot of retesting with Ethereum, Bitcoin, but we have been staying strong, creating higher lows. And right now we're retesting specific zones that are really going to let us know if we're going to be deviating or if we're going to start ripping back up. Closing the week is going to be super important, which is why you need to be aware of the day-to-day events. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Guys, I have a lot of video suggestions thrown at me in the last few days. I'm going to get to all of your videos, so just stay tuned and keep commenting and let me know if you have anything on your mind. But with all that being said, let's jump into what you need to be aware of today. So guys, like how I said, in the past week, we have been seeing a lot of sideways price action, but we are starting to see a little bit of recovery, and we are staying strong in specific zones based off of specific deviations that we have seen in previous lows and imbalances ever since February. Ethereum is looking quite strong, currently sitting at around 25.31 after breaking, of course, that 2000 region, which was a psychological thought for a lot of people, guys. Once Ethereum breaks that zone, now we're staying pretty strong, but it's all based also of the sentiment and how liquidity is moving in the markets. The total 3 chart is pretty much showing a recovery, pretty much following the price action around Ethereum. When Ethereum runs up, guys, altcoins follows. Right now, Bitcoin dominance is shooting up, but right now having a little bit of a deviation, but I'm sure this chart is going to be shooting back up to that 65% zone in the near future, especially with how Bitcoin is consistently hitting 107,000, getting close to that 108,000 and deviating backwards. It's just waiting to break out of that zone and get more confirmation and more bullish news. USDC dominance is continuously crashing down, just showing exactly that everyone is getting out of stables and pouring back into Bitcoin and altcoins. But right now, guys, like how I said, we are really testing the zones for altcoins, for Bitcoin, for Ethereum, and this is really going to let us know if we're going to be deviating or if we're going to be ripping up. Crypto Intelligence X talks about exactly the crypto total market cap and exactly the retest we have been seeing. He says the altcoins market, if we close the week like this, it's been a perfect retest. And I completely agree. We have been seeing some crazy rip ups, but we saw a little bit of cool off, especially with the uncertainty and a lot of events that were happening this week. Right now is a super important time, though, to start looking at these charts and the price action to let you know if we're ripping up or we could be seeing some more sideways price action. Crypto Mitchell now shows multiple charts and exactly the retest that we were seeing with Ethereum and exactly when you should have been purchasing, which these last few days, guys, I've been telling you specific altcoins and also the sectors to be focusing on, and just to get you some positions that are at discount prices. But right now, one of the biggest things that's causing a lot of fluctuations with risk assets is the clear rejection on the dollar and exactly how the weakening of the dollar is looking. This is good for crypto assets and risk assets in general. Not good for the US dollar, though. I am in the United States. Let me know where you guys are located. But clear rejection on the dollar showing that we'll continue to have a longer downwards trend. The last time this trend took place, we had altcoins showing a lot of momentum. So based off of this correlation and the price action that we're seeing with this chart, we could be seeing altcoins see much more price action in the next few days. From here, Crypto Mission now gives more of his perspective and his conviction based off of exactly what we're seeing. It says Bitcoin is going to an all-time high faster than he expected. 120,000 is imminent. 150,000 is imminent. 200,000 is imminent. Why? Because more and more people are done with the constant devaluation of the dollar. And this is a great perspective, pretty much showing the correlation not only with the US dollar chart and when altcoins saw liquidity back in the previous cycle, but also pretty much how investors are just looking at currency in general. This is a really strong perspective. And if we keep seeing the weakening of the dollar, we could keep seeing Bitcoin Bitcoin run up very significantly, and which is why this is one of my main goals, to have at least one Bitcoin. Right now, I can honestly full out allocate to get, one Bitcoin, but that's just not smart. I plan on going full time in altcoins, racking up my gains, and then whenever we see the bear market hit, I'm gonna buy me some Bitcoin, and I'm gonna have a video about all of it. It's gonna be an amazing video. But the Gobesi letter talks about exactly the current situation with the economy, the markets, and exactly what we're currently seeing, and why there's pretty much a lot of fluctuations. Current situation: stocks are rising like the trade war is over, but it's not, which really shows there's probably a lot of inside information. Smart money moves faster than dumb money. Two, guys, gold is rising like the trade war is escalating. Gold rose like $60 today, which was freaking crazy. Three, yields are rising like the US has avoided a recession, but based off of exactly what's going on, and the credit bureau not too long ago, based off of exactly inflation that we're currently seeing, this is not looking too good. But we still haven't even seen rate cuts, so this just isn't making too much sense. Oil prices are falling like the US is entering a recession, so it's like everything is timed already, everything's already happening. And in 5, the US dollar index is falling like inflation is gone, which is causing risk assets to shoot up, and Bitcoin is rising like inflation is back on the rise. Never a dull moment in this market. And this was a great perspective, showing how all the markets, whether it's gold, yields, stocks, crypto, everything is responding very weird. And the perspective around this is that, like how I said, smart money moves faster than dumb money. Everyone else is more, wondering what's the news events that are coming out. Even us talking to each other, me talking to you on this YouTube channel, you learning more information and me obtaining information. We're pretty much only going based off of the info that comes out, but the insiders move the money before because they have an understanding of what's going to be happening. And this just should go to show that liquidity is moving around right now, guys, and you need to be aware of it. Right now, my portfolio in the last 7 days is seeing red, but a lot of these coins have created higher lows. Just a chill guy, guys, about like 15 days ago was sitting at around, I would say, 3 cents. Now it's sitting at 8.7. So even though it's down 16% on the 7-day, it is quite up significantly. Same thing with Conduct, same thing with Hash AI, Destra, Mr. Miggles, and a lot of other projects. So this is why, even though we're starting to see a little bit of deviations, you need to be looking for good positions before we rip up. But swiping everything to the side, guys, that is currently what is going on. A lot of uncertainty in the markets. We have different, pieces of the market shooting up. And everything is kind of not really making sense right now, but the markets are looking quite strong based off of the regions that we're seeing and the retest that we saw in this past week. If we can hold out this price action closing out the week, and the US markets look pretty good too, more than likely we could be seeing more stronger price action moving into next week. From there, guys, we have talks about the Fed pretty much having rate cuts more than likely in June, and from there, so on and so forth. And I'm gonna keep you guys updated with all this information, but this is why it's super important to keep up with all this info and pretty much know what is going on. And that's what I do on this YouTube channel. So if you're new to my channel, check out the rest of my content. I keep you guys updated on the day-to-day events, price action on Bitcoin, Ethereum, altcoins, how liquidity is shifting, and everything you need to be aware of. Right now, guys, is the time to lock in. Keep up to date with all the price action, the news events, and what has an effect on the market. Anyone that isn't aware of how liquidity moves and exactly what's happening doesn't know what's going on, and they're running like a chicken without their head. And the moment everything goes down, they capitulate their bags, and then when everything rips up, they start to buy back in. You need to be aware, and I know a lot of us have made mistakes. I made mistakes, guys. We all feel like we buy the top, but at the end of the day, the more you learn and the more you get under your belt, and the more you get in your toolbox, the better you're going to be. A lot of people, guys, they get in, they make a mistake, they get out, and they try to come back 2 months later without learning their mistake, and they just keep rinsing and repeating, and you do not want to fall into that. And on this channel, I try to give you guys all that info. I started off as a complete beginner, had no idea what I was doing, and now I have a strong understanding of price action, how liquidity moves, specific charts to be aware of, analysts, different perspectives, the bears, the bulls, global liquidity, everything, guys. So I'm going to keep dropping all these day-to-day content, keep you guys updated with all that info. Any questions, suggestions, drop them down below. There's a lot of video suggestions that I've been getting, and I'm going to get to all of them, guys, more than likely at the end of this week, if not this week, next week. So just stay tuned and drop me more. Let me know what's going on with your portfolios, what you guys think is going to be happening. And yeah, I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.